Yes, sir, we're back. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following me on Facebook and subscribing here on YouTube. What we're going to talk about today one of the episodes with a good friend of mine, Grant. And at the end of this, if you're interested and you would like to know more about him and what he's done, he has written a couple of books. Um, I won't promote them here, but I'll send you to Diamond Cross Ranch. That's where he is, and that's what he does up in Moran, Wyoming right now. And he's a good friend of mine. I grew up with him here in Palisade. He just lived a stone throw away, really, I guess. And he is a world renowned horse trainer and horse whisperer. He trained polo horses for William Devane and Lorenzo Lamas and whatnot. Uh, he knows what he's talking about. So if you think that I don't know anything about horses or whatnot, then go to him because he certainly does. We grew up together, and I probably don't know half of. Well, he's well, never mind. We grew up together. Anyway, the story I'm going to tell you about is kids and what we do for entertainment this day versus what we did back in the day. And Grant actually, at the beginning of this story, we were in freestyle wrestling. That was after wrestling, and so you'd have freestyle wrestling, right? And and he was a good wrestler. He should have got first in state, and things happen and whatnot. It's just like team roping. But anyway, uh, we were freestyle wrestling together, and he was tough. He was a tough kid. And there's no doubt about that. And we had many experiences together, and we'll share those throughout this podcast and as time allows, and you will hear them, you see them all. And I hope that I'm able to get up to Moran and actually visit with Grant and do one of those podcasts together, and he'll validate some of these stories that we've gone through. But just a second. This one was back when we was in high school, and I say we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have iPods, we didn't have anything to entertain ourselves, but just our own imagination and adventure tourism, and so this time, all right, well. Grant got this good idea that we needed to float down the river. We needed to get in a kayak, or not kayak, it was a canoe. It was a canoe that we got into, and we was going to float down the Colorado River when it was flooding. And that's all well and good, except that when we got up there to the bridge and we got in, I had a broken arm. Grant broke my arm in freestyle wrestling. Yeah, I don't know. He did some kind of. I think it was just actually it wasn't a bad deal. It was just a wing turn where wrestlers know about it. And anyway, I got my wrist and arm caught, and it had a lead pipe break in my left arm. And actually, I ended up wrestling several tournaments, not several, couple tournaments. I was in Montrose with it. No, that's when my back was a problem. Sorry, I got a brain fart. I was in a wrestling match because I was young, and when he broke that, and it was a lead pipe break, and so I had my left arm wrapped up, right? And when I was wrestling and in this tournament, the other wrestlers saw me with that left arm wrapped up, and I don't know if the word got around that it was broke or whatnot, but they started working it over really bad. So they'd grab that thing and they'd twist it back there, and it was a little ouchy a little bit, distracted me, and I'm not sure. I think it took second in that tournament, but what my coach did after that was he took the wrap off of my left arm, which was broken, right, and they put it on my right arm, and so after that they started working on my right arm, left my left arm alone, and so I was able to wrestle a little bit better. Anyway, let's go back to the story. All right, so Grant is a good friend of mine. We grew up together. He was a little while away, a little bit away, and anyway, we decided we needed to go in his dad's canoe down the Colorado River in flood stage. Okay, all right. I mean, we were kids, and we didn't have cell phones. We we didn't have iPods or something where we could play a video game about going down the river, and say, "Oh, look, this is us," going down the river. No, we didn't. Water was cold. It was freezing cold, and it was high tide. If you have high tide in the Colorado River, this was high tide, and we had two bridges that we had to come through. Right, we got up there above them, and we come down, and we made it through the first bridge, and second bridge, not so good. I mean, we were coming down at a high rate of speed. It's flood zone, right? And so we're coming down at a high rate of speed. I got a broke arm. My left arm was in a cast at that time. And I'd had that cast on for a week, 10 days or something like that before Grant talked me into doing this canoe trip down the river. And anyway, I we got down there. We got past the first bridge. All right, that was cool. And because those pillars on the bridge, they have a big draw and eddy right after them because there's a lot of water coming down. So they have when they hit the pillar. Excuse me. Get late at night. Excuse me again. Anyway, they came over they would break over like a wave, and when it was water was more calm, it was a small wave. Of course, when it's flooding, it's like a 4 foot wave. I mean, it's something a little bit intimidating. You want to stay away from. We did that on the first bridge. Second bridge, I don't know what happened, brain fart, whatnot. We turned sideways into that bridge, into that pillar. I don't know if we were paddling, he was paddling one direction, I was doing the other direction. I don't know for sure. All I know is that we hit that pillar in high water, flood zone, and it swamped us. We came into it sideways, and that's no joke, it's a 4 foot wave in front of that pillar. Well, it just absolutely drowned that canoe, and we did come out the other end. And what happened then is that well, we were swamped, and we're underwater. We come up, and we had to go ahead and go over to the other, try and push over to the shore, and we did that on the shore. Dang, I gotta notice my battery's running close or running low. Let me see if I can close that up. Maybe that'll help me for a second get distracted. Anyway, I had to swim. Grant and I both had to swim over and push that canoe back over the side so we could get it, you know, we could get right again. Well, have you ever tried to tip a canoe over? I mean, you tip it over, okay, and so but it has all that water still stuffed up in it. It's like 110,000 pounds worth of water in that canoe, and you can't hardly lift it up. Oh my goodness. We got it done, and we got it tipped up. We got the water out of it finally, and got back in, and we went back on down another mile or so until we could get back out of the river where we were supposed to get out. But my cast fell off. They didn't have fiberglass cast back then, and it was all plaster, right? And so it had been soaked in that water, so it came off. And so, well, I guess it's just one of those stories, one of those kind of adventures. But I really do wish that you would subscribe to the channel. I hope you do visit Diamond Cross Ranch in Moran, Wyoming. He does a great ministry up there. He has great family surrounding him. He has some clothing line, I guess, up there. He's a good friend of mine. Grew up with him. Support him. Go up there and take a chance. Take a look. I'll tell you more stories about Grant if you subscribe and you want to hear more. Talk to you later.